Hello everyone. This program is for first year BCom in subject economics. For semester 1, the course code is CEC101 and the course title is CC3 Microeconomics. We are doing a topic under Unit 3, that is Perfect Competition and Monopoly. The name of the module is Demand Supply Analysis, including Impact of Taxes and Subsidy. My name is Saruka Kalgutkar, Assistant Professor in Economics at SVS Ridura Kakulo College of Commerce and Management Studies, Mapsa, Goa. Outline of today's topic is Meaning of Taxes and Subsidy. Impact of taxes and subsidy on demand and supply. Learning outcomes. Students will be able to understand the meaning of taxes and subsidy. They will be also able to understand how price and quantity changes when taxes are imposed and the impact of subsidy on demand and supply. So starting with tax, the meaning of tax. A tax is a compulsory financial charge or some other type of levy which has been imposed by the government on firm or on an individual with the motive to fund government spending and various public expenditures. Whereas a subsidy is a payment made to the firms or consumers designed to encourage to do certain activities. For example, for a firm, subsidy is given in order to encourage them to increase the production of the output. Now, why taxes and subsidies are imposed or being paid to the firm? Taxes and subsidies change the price of goods and as a result the quantity consumed. Levying a tax moves the market to a new equilibrium where the price of a good paid by buyers increases and the price received by the sellers decreases. The incidence of a tax does not depend on whether the buyers or sellers are taxed. Most of the burden of a tax falls on the less elastic side of the market because of the lower ability to respond to the tax by changing the quantity sold or bought. For example, if the demand for a particular commodity is inelastic, in that case, the tax burden will be borne by the consumer because in that case, the demand for a particular commodity is inelastic. That means no matter what the price is, the consumer are going to still demand that particular commodity. So in that case, the entire tax burden will be, or most of the part of the tax burden will be borne by the consumer. Whereas introduction of the subsidy, on the other hand, lowers the price of production, which encourages firms to produce more. So, such a policy is beneficial to both sellers as well as to the buyers. Buyers get goods at a lower prices, whereas for sellers, the cost of production decreases. Now let us understand the impact of tax on demand and supply with the help of graph. We have quantities measuring on x-axis, we are measuring price on y-axis. The dotted line that is downward sloping is a demand curve, whereas a straight line upward rising is a supply curve. S1 is the original supply curve and S2 is the supply curve after the taxes are imposed. So E is the initial equilibrium point. 0 QA is the original quantities consumed, original quantities which are bought and sold, whereas OPE is the original price level. So, E is the equilibrium point where demand and supply curve are intersecting. OQA is the original quantity bought and sold. OPE is the original price level. Now, what happens when the taxes are imposed? When taxes are imposed, the price of the product increases. In that case, the supply curve also shifts in the left direction. So the new price level that we get here is PC. Now PC is the price for a commodity, and this is the price which the consumer are going to pay. But the price that the sellers are going to receive is different. After imposing the price, after imposing the taxes, price increases, supply curve shifts to the left direction. PC is the price paid by the consumer. PP is the price received by the seller. So PC, A, B, PP, that entire section is the tax revenue collected by the government. So now you can see here, PC is the price which is higher than the equilibrium price, and PP is the price lower than the equilibrium price. So what the consumers are being charged is more, and what the sellers receive is less. Okay, so this entire section, that is PC, A, B, PP, goes to the government in the form of tax revenue, whereas ABE is the deadweight loss. Now what is the deadweight loss? It is the loss to the society. Loss in terms of reduction in the demand as well as reduction in the production. So this is the impact of tax on demand and supply. The production decreases, the price increases to the consumer, and the revenue to the sellers also decreases. The quantities demanded as well as sold also decreases. The new equilibrium quantity will be 0 QT. New equilibrium price to the consumer will be 0 PC, and the price sellers will be getting will be 0. Let us understand the impact of subsidy on the demand and supply. A subsidy means the government pays part of the cost, and because of which the cost of production decreases. A subsidy will shift the supply curve to the right and therefore lower the equilibrium price in the market. For example, in this case, let us say that the government is giving farmers a subsidy for every kilo of potatoes that have been produced. The effect is to shift the supply curve to the right, leading to the lower price and higher quantity demanded. Here we have a graph. On x-axis we are measuring quantities in terms of kgs. On y-axis we are having price measured in terms of rupees. Dotted line sloping downward is a demand curve. Straight line upward rising is a supply curve. S1 is the original supply curve. S2 is the new supply curve. Point E is the original equilibrium point where 100 kgs of potatoes are bought and sold, and those quantities are bought and sold at rupees 30. So what happens when subsidies are imposed? When subsidies are given by government to the farmers, the cost of production decreases. When the cost of production decreases, the farmers are encouraged to produce more of that particular commodity. So here farmers are going to increase the production of potatoes, thus which is indicated by this new supply curve shifting in a right direction. The prices are going to decrease. After the subsidies are being given by government, the price will decrease to 22, and that is the price which the consumer are going to pay, and the demand or the goods which are being bought and sold also increases to a new level, that is 140 kgs. So after subsidies are given, a new equilibrium is formed where 140 kgs of potatoes are being bought and sold in the market at rupees 22. So this is the benefit of subsidies given to the producers, which helps in encouraging the producers to produce more and also help consumers by getting products at a lower rate. So these are the references. Thank you.